Today is Tuesday. Believe it or not, it is Tuesday. It's unbelievable that today is November 14th. Holy cow. November 14th. Today's Tuesday, and today on IAEI News Live, we're going to talk about receptacles. All the different types of receptacles. You know, receptacles have come a long way since back in the day when it was just a device like this with your two conductors, your hot and your neutral. Uh-oh. Holy cow, Rudy Garza, you're the man. The Garz Master J. Welcome. And we're going to hopefully see you on IAEI News Live today. But today we're going to talk about the standard receptacle. We've come a long way since just a hot and a neutral, and there's not even a spot on this receptacle for an equipment grounding conductor. Then you move into something like this, and it has technology built in. Hey, Nihad El Sharif, we made it back, brother. We made it back from Marrakesh. And I'll tell you what a journey that was for me getting back. I could go into the gory details, but man. So anyway, this is actually an arc fault circuit interrupter, and this goes back. This goes back in time. That's handwritten. That is handwritten on there, and this was a prototype that we made many years ago. This was like before even an arc fault circuit interrupter existed in a receptacle type device. We put it in a receptacle type, so it was kind of cool. Anyway, this is a Class A. You have your push to test buttons. So we took technology. Then it just keeps getting better. Then we integrated surge with these devices. So we went from this little device that has a hot and a neutral only, no spot to put an equipment grounding conductor, to something that has integrated technology, a microprocessor, whatever you want to call it, that's in here, that's doing arc fault circuit interrupter, ground fault circuit interrupter, to surge protective devices, and then this is your standard receptacle. So we took, I would say we took this device that has no equipment grounding conductor, and then we came out with this device that not only has your spot for an equipment grounding conductor right in here, okay, and you have your hot, your neutral, and your hot, but then also we created the ability with this separation. You can see this is not connected. It's only connected through this little tab that's right there. Unlike in the past, where it was all one solid piece of conductor, and we gave you the ability to separate the top from the bottom. Tell me that's not amazing. And that's just a simple, so, and then, you know, you got these guys. You know, these guys came on the market, and they said, hey, you know what? We don't like receptacles that are square. We don't like the receptacles that have two little round knobs on them. We like round receptacle, just a round one. And oh, by the way, you can hang a ceiling fan from this thing or a light fixture of some sort, and then we can make your life easier by mounting this in the ceiling, mounting this on your ceiling fan, and then just push the button and push it again, and you're in. And that's that. And then they called this a receptacle. And there was a whole journey in the National Electrical Code that went over, I would say, over about 9 years now on this puppy. So today on IAEI News Live, we're going to talk about all these different, all this stuff. I mean, and I didn't even show you this one yet. Look at that. That's got tamper resistant, and it's got USB. Robert from Omaha, could you imagine that a receptacle can go from something just like this to something like this. We've packed so much technology in these devices that you gotta learn about them. You've got to make yourself aware of the requirements, the code requirements, the UL standards, the proper application of these products. I mean, there's so many details. I mean, how do I terminate to that, right? Think about the terminations. Robert, think about, I have a stranded conductor here. I've got a green one, I've got a black one, and I've got a white one. And I've got a stranded conductor that I probably am going to have to connect this to a solid copper conductor or copper clad aluminum. What connectors do I use? There are so many details. How about, look at the depth of this. Look at the difference. Here's your standard receptacle. Look at the difference in depth. If I put those faces, look at the difference in depth right there. There's a lot to think about when you're applying a receptacle. What about the box space? What about heat? Think about the heat. These things, I mean, there's so much to learn on such a simple device. That's why you need to tune into IAEI News Live, and we're going to dig into some of the details. We're going to dig into the standards. Oh yes, you've got locking receptacles. Robert, you got locking receptacles. You've got different amps. This is just your 15 and 20 type of receptacles. I mean, I don't have some of the big guys down here. These all fit in my drawer. And then, how about this one, Robert? Look at this. Look at that. Huh? Look at this guy. I can't even take the cord out of this receptacle. All right? I can't take the cord out of that. Look at that. Tell me that's not a mess. And this is the note that was sent to me whenever I sent, well, so I get a package in the mail. This was a while ago. And this is Randy Gazdecki. So he and I drove him somewhere. I can't remember what year it was, but we were somewhere together. I gave him a hitch to the airport or wherever it was. And we were talking about what I did. And I was talking about residential and GFCIs and AFCIs and all that jazz. And he goes, you know, he says, I got something for you. And he says, I'm going to mail it to you. So he mailed me this with this letter, okay, with this little note. And it says, this overloaded on a refrigerator. So this was on a refrigerator that was in his garage. And this cord belonged to a refrigerator that was in his garage. And he said the root cause was a loose screw on the conductor that was terminating it. And he says the overheating, get this, 6 years. 6 years. He is lucky this did not cause an electrical fire. And this was behind the wall, in a drywall, in a box, right? Probably the only receptacle, and because it was so small, because it's not one of these types of devices, there's probably nothing around it to ignite yet. But you can see the melting that occurred, the face of this device. Look how warped the face of that device is. It is just, and then look at where this cord is just melted right in to that plastic. So terminations are critical. And who terminates these wires? Think about it. I remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I worked with my cousin and I had to put the receptacles in. I was the one who was turning these screws. We usually put probably the most inexperienced person to terminate every one of these in a dwelling unit or a commercial building. Yet, that termination is very important. So, misapplication, not proper torquing. Oh yes, Robert, tension on plug blades. We'll take a look here. And I've got some links down below, and you're going to see this on IEI News Live's feed. But we'll talk about NFPA 73 for existing dwelling units. We'll take a look at NFPA 70B on maintenance. So get out your NFPA link and go check that. Go check the resources out there. Now, I will tell you, NFPA just changed their website. Honestly, I am not a fan. In my opinion, I am not a fan. I couldn't find NFPA link. I found it on my iPad. I was able to get into NFPA link on my iPad. Talk about taking something that was good and making it worse. In my opinion, just my opinion, they changed the website. So I could not. I just figured out yesterday how to get NFPA link working on my computer. It's a process to find the right link, but I ended up figuring it out. On my iPad, it's pretty easy, anyway, not a happy guy with the web changes. So, but in any case, we'll take a look at this. This is in the box, right? So what do we got on this? We got a lot of information on the box. We got a tamper-resistant receptacles. Look at the information that they put on the side. And it's the same information over here. And then you got the information on the back. Look at this. You got your listing and your markings. Replaces the standard receptacle, meets 2014 and 2015 Canadian and NEC requirements, installation instructions, full load consumption, made in China, CUL or UL listed, NOM. Look at all that. Peachtree City. Then you get, now this is a USB. Oh, look at this. In the package, we give you some of these. That's kind of cool. Let's see what we got. Look at that. We even tuck those puppies behind there. We wrap them really nice. Oh, it's beautiful. This is like Christmas. And then look, we got instructions. You know where these go? You know where these go? Right in the dumpster. And then you know what you do? You have to go digging for them later. Here's all the different 600 volt maximum rating. Wow, 300 volt maximum rating. So anyone with the single and double dots. And then you got your instructions. So all of this is some really good information. They show you how to wire it. Look at that. They have all of the information on the proper wiring of those. And those are orange splicing devices. But you know what? So here was my thought process was I was going to sit there and say, well, which of these, Robert, can accept a stranded and a solid conductor? Think about the termination requirements, right? So, and the listing requirements and the ratings of these devices, making sure that you're installing and using them properly. We're going to talk about all of this when we get on IAEI News Live. The link is down below, up above, to the left, to the right, whichever direction, it will be there. Take a look, and don't forget, please, to tune in and subscribe to IAEI's YouTube channel. We go live every Tuesday. We talk about different topics. So, Nihad, my 70p. Man, you and your 70p, Robert, I know we're going to get there. So, Nihad, getting back. So, I get to, and I knew my connection in New York was tight. So here's what happened. So I get to, we land a little bit late, but we get off the plane going into customs, and they give us this, oh, I think I threw it away. I probably lost it on my run through the New York JFK airport. But so we get off the plane, and I was relatively close to the door, so I was up closer to the front, was able to get off the plane. As soon as we get off the plane, they hand me this little orange paper. And it says, carry this and display it proudly. I'm like, okay, and run. So I get over to customs. They take us to the front of the line in customs. They, I mean, the guy asked, I mean, God bless him, he was pressured too from everybody. So he asked me a couple of questions, and quite frankly, I couldn't even tell you what he asked me. I don't even know what I answered, because all I was focused on was getting past him and getting out the door, because I had to go connect my flight was at 8:10 p.m. So I get through customs. You've got to go. I think we went upstairs. Yeah, so I get through customs. I've got to go down an escalator, up another escalator to get to gate 33. That was the gate number. Now, I'll tell you what. I'm sure there were a lot of people laughing at me because I was running. My bag was on its side. I'm dragging my bag. I had my backpack on, and it wasn't quite on all the way, so I was trying to put my bag, and I'm running at the same time. When I went down the escalator, my bag was going boom, 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 down every stinking step. Then I run down the corridor, and I didn't run up the steps. I was out of breath at that point. I mean, I'm built for a couch. What can I say? So I go up the escalator. I run to the gate. There were three other ladies. There were three other ladies that were in the same boat. Now, oh, that was right. Yeah. Before I even got there, I had to go back through security. Oh, you got to love this. I got to go back through security. So I'm throwing my stuff on the belt. Pass it through. I forgot to put my big bag. It was sitting on the ground. I forgot to throw it on the belt. I threw my backpack on the belt. I took all my computers out. I thought that they give you this. They said that we would be TSA. I could go through the TSA line. They made us take everything out. I had to take my boots off. I had to throw those on the belt, get those through. My bottom bag was still, my bigger bag was still on the ground. I asked the security guys, can you throw that on the belt? No, my yob. So I had to go back through, put my stuff on the belt, take my shoes back off because I already put those on, put that back on, stand in line, go through the security, the whatever this is, and Robert, my bag was not rated for that. So now I get through security, get my boots on, I run to the gate. It was a few minutes to 8. The plane doesn't leave till 8:10. Okay? And the other ladies because they went through first, I let them go through first. They were running. They got there before me. American Airlines closed the gate early. Yes, they closed it early. Not only were they not at the gate just closing the door and getting their paperwork, they were gone. The plane wasn't even at the gate, and it was only 8 o'clock. So I missed my plane. Needless to say, I was highly upset and frustrated because I just wanted to get home. So I had a decision to make. I called American. They said, well, they can get me home. TSA wouldn't have helped. They didn't even have the TSA line there. Wouldn't have helped. They left I would say at least 15 minutes to 20 minutes early. So anyway, and even global entry wouldn't have helped either, because I went to the front of the line. I went to the front of the line in security. Anyway, so I called American. They said, we can get you home by tomorrow, which would have been Sunday, by about 4 o'clock p.m. because I had to fly through Charlotte. It was sometime in the afternoon. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I just am not doing that. So I then I opened up my phone, Nihad, and I couldn't get Concur, because usually what happens, I'll forget to book a hotel. I'll forget to book a car. I mean, that happens. I mean, you know, you think you got everything in line. So you end up at location and you didn't have a hotel, or, you know, you just open up I open up my phone, I open up Concur, I say where I'm at, I say I need a hotel, boom, it finds one for me. I get an Uber, I open up the Uber app, I get on my Uber, take me to the hotel. Everything's, and if I need a car, I open up my Concur, I say I need a car, boom, I got a car. I couldn't get the app to work. Nihad, I was so freaking mad. I wanted to throw my phone, but I didn't, because it's expensive. So I could not get the app to open. It said something about double verification, a new security process, which they implemented. And then I opened up my computer. Now I go and I grab my company computer. I grab this thing. This is my POS. I open up my POS and I can't get it connected to the internet on my phone. So then I just called my travel agency from Eaton. I called this great gentleman on the phone. And I said, look, I need a car. Get me a car. Can you get me into a vehicle tonight? One way to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from JFK. It at this point was about 8:30. So he got me a rental car, $78. $78. I got my rental car reserved. Hertz. I went to the front desk at Hertz, and this guy said, look, don't get off the phone. I'm going to stay with you until you get your car. He saw I was very polite, but he knew I was frustrated. He knew I had a 6.5 hour drive in front of me. So he says, I'm going to get you, I'm going to stay on the line. So I get up, very nice young lady helped me. The people in front of me, God bless them. I don't know what country they were from. His wife didn't speak English. He spoke English. And they put him into a Tesla. He didn't want a Tesla. He goes, can I get a gas vehicle? And they said, she says, well, you'll pay more. He goes, okay, I'll do the Tesla. So he explains that to his wife. I think he was speaking Spanish. So I'm positive he was speaking Spanish, but you know, I'm learning Spanish and he was just way too fast. So in any case, so they leave and then I go up, she gets me, they take care of all the paperwork. I hang up with the agent. The nice young lady gave me my paperwork, told me to go out to see a gentleman out there at the in the main whatever area where all the vehicles are. I see this gentleman. He goes, are you thirsty? I said, I am parched. I am so thirsty because I hadn't drinking anything. He took off running. I mean, this guy, Hertz impressed me. Absolutely. I got to give kudos. But he took off running. And I went in because I figured, well, I went from the parking garage into the thing. And there was I didn't even see it, but there was a vending machine right there with water. And he comes running out with a bottle of water. And I was like, well, I didn't even realize there was a vending machine. He goes, no, I got you covered. And he goes, are you set? I'm like, I am set. He was a breath of fresh air. So was the nice young lady at the Hertz counter. Very pleasant, very helpful and considerate. So I got my vehicle and I drove a GMC. And the GMC was kind of cool. It kept you from going over the lines. I mean, it literally would bring the vehicle back in. And I was driving, I was changing lanes, and I had to put my blinkers on. It forced me to put my blinkers on to make me go in and out of lanes very easily. So I learned that I don't have a habit of using my blinkers. So, but in any case, I got home at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. It was a long trip, Nihad. Yes, Nihad, it was a multi-factor authentication on my Concur app. Who's going to hack into my Concur app to take a flight somewhere? You got to have my passport. It's going to have my name on the ticket. I just don't get it, Niad. I was so freaking frustrated. So I got home, and Sunday I got my app to work on my iPad and my phone. Anyway, yes, what are the odds of a flight leaving early? And it happened to me. I called, when I told you know what? I told the person from American Airlines, I said, look, I was on the edge of going to Delta. You pushed me over. I'm considering I'm going to go to Delta. Who pushes off early, especially when they know that flight and people are running to the gate? Anyway, so I'm going to start looking at Delta flights now, and I might give them a call to see if I can transfer my status. But I'm not happy with American right now. Not happy at all. Not the gentleman on the phone. Gentleman on the phone was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm just frustrated that they left early. And I know it happens. But I have choices too. So anyway, today is Receptacle Tuesday. We're going to talk about receptacles, wiring devices. We're going to talk about the different types. We'll talk about tamper resistant. These puppies that don't have an equipment grounding conductor location, these that do, they have built-in technology. We've got these things that sit up in the sky, and then we want to avoid this type of a problem, right? We don't want this to happen to you in your home. So be mindful of that. All right? So thanks for joining in. Nihad, Robert from Omaha, and Rudy Garza, the Garz Master J. So IAEI News Live, the link is down below, up above, left or right, depending upon which platform you're watching this on. We will be covering receptacles, and hopefully you'll learn something that you didn't know about a receptacle. All right, thanks everybody. Take care, stay safe, and remember, please stay healthy. Until next time. I gotta get to work.